Hello and welcome to today's lesson, the lighting system. If you're trained to become an apprentice lighting technician, this topic is absolutely essential. Why? Because before you can repair, install, or improve a lighting system, you need to understand how it works. Just like a car has an engine, brakes, and wheels that work together, a lighting system has parts that all need to function as one to give us the light we use every day in homes, offices, schools, factories, and beyond. In this section, we're going to break down the 4 basic parts of a lighting system, explain how they work, and help you see the bigger picture of how power turns into light. Let's begin. This lesson was created to give you a solid foundation. If you want to be a successful lighting technician, you can't just swap bulbs and flip switches. You need to understand what each part of the system does, how it fits into the whole, and how you can keep it all working safely and efficiently. Whether you're troubleshooting a fixture that won't turn on, upgrading a lighting system to LED, or checking why a lamp is flickering, this knowledge will help guide your decisions. So let's take a look at each of the 4 main components. Part 1. The lighting source, or the lamp. The first and most obvious part of the lighting system is the light source, the thing that actually produces the light. Now, most people might call this a light bulb or a tube, but in the lighting industry we use a more technical word called a lamp. A lamp is a full light producing package. It includes the glass or tube you can see in the outside and all the parts inside that make the light happen. This could be an incandescent bulb, a fluorescent tube, a high-intensity discharge lamp, or a modern LED. Each type of lamp works a little bit differently, but they all have the same job: create light when electricity flows through them. Part 2. The ballast. Now, some types of lamps, especially fluorescent and HID lamps, need an extra piece of equipment to get started and stay running. This piece is called a ballast. Think of a ballast like a starter and flow manager for certain lamps. A ballast helps start the lamp by giving it a quick jolt of high voltage, and then it controls how much electricity keeps flowing so the lamp doesn't overheat or burn out. There are 2 common types of ballasts. Magnetic ballasts, which use coil of copper wire wrapped around an iron core, and they are heavier and older. And electronic ballasts, which are smaller, lighter, and more energy efficient, using modern circuitry. Not all lamps need ballasts. For example, many LED lamps have built-in drivers that handle power and regulations internally. But when you're dealing with fluorescent or HID systems, understanding how ballasts work is critical. Part 3. The luminaire. Next, we have what most people call a light fixture, but in the professional lighting world, we call this the luminaire. A luminaire is the entire unit that holds the lamp and all the supporting parts. It includes the lamp, the socket that holds the lamp, the reflector which helps aim the light, the diffuser or cover which softens or spreads the light, the housing which protects all the parts, and often the ballast if one is needed. The luminaire does two big jobs. It connects to the building's electrical system, and it controls the direction and intensity of the light. Whether it's a wide glow for a room, a focused beam for a spotlight, or something in between. So, when you're working with lighting systems, the luminaire is where you physically interact with the system, mounting it, wiring it, cleaning it, and replacing parts. Part 4. The control system. The fourth major component is the control. This is what lets us turn the lights on, off, or dim them. Controls can be simple like a regular wall switch, a dimmer knob, or a timer. Or they can be advanced like motion sensors, programmable systems, or smartphone apps that control entire buildings. A lighting control changes how electricity flows to the lamp. It can turn the power on or off, or adjust it to dim the light. In today's world, lighting controls are becoming more advanced, helping buildings save energy and respond to how people use spaces. As a technician, you often need to understand how the controls are wired into the circuit, what type of control is used, and how to troubleshoot when they aren't working. So now let's talk about the lighting circuit and where all the power comes from. All the parts that we have talked about, lamp, ballast, luminaire, and control, are all connected through something called the lighting circuit. A lighting circuit is the wiring that brings electrical power to your lighting system. Depending on how much electricity the circuit can safely carry, or the amp rating, and how much each luminaire uses, the watts, you can connect multiple luminaires to a single circuit. Understanding load capacity is very important when installing or upgrading lighting. If the load is too high for the circuit, you could blow a breaker or even start a fire. Let's summarize it all in a simple flow. Control, like a switch or a sensor, sends power to the luminaire, which holds the lamp and the ballast. The ballast, if required, regulates the electricity. The lamp produces light. The luminaire aims and diffuses the light where it's needed. Each part has a purpose, and when they all work together, you get light that is safe, efficient, and effective. As a lighting apprentice, you'll be installing, inspecting, cleaning, repairing, and upgrading lighting systems. You'll be asked questions like, why is that light flickering? Can I replace this lamp with LED? Why doesn't this fixture turn on? And if you understand the whole system, you'll be ready to answer and fix those issues with confidence. So lighting may seem simple on the surface, but underneath, it's a system of connected parts that all need to work together. So remember, the control starts the power, the ballast manages the flow, the lamp produces the light, and the luminaire houses it all and directs the beam. That is your complete lighting system. In the next lessons, we'll explore different types of lamps, how to wire lighting circuits, and how to troubleshoot common problems. But for now, take a look around, at home, at work, or in a store. Try to spot the lamp, the luminaire, the ballast, and the controls. Because you're no longer just seeing light, you're learning how to manage it. Thanks for listening.